Hello everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon the series, the beginning episode dogs, and this episode is Snow Way Out, which because of the fact of the last episode, everything kind of got thrown, well, not the last episode, the one before that, everything got thrown out of whack. So, but technically, this is how it's supposed to go, even though this episode aired way later, when Ash's Charmander was already evolved. In release order, the episode makes no sense, because for some reason, I think it's Charmeleon goes back to being a Charmander. Somehow, I don't get it. And I love this episode. But let's just get into it. So, we find a fork in the road, and we can either go left or right, and Ash is like, we're going right. And Misty's like, no, that goes up a mountain. It's like, it's a little bit of a hill, don't you worry about it. And when they reach it, turns out it is a snow mountain. So, as they are climbing the snow mountain, the compass kinda just doesn't work anymore. So, we are lost. So, Ash sends out Pidgeotto in order to figure out where to go, and Pidgeotto comes back with actual help, being like, we gotta go that way. Meanwhile, Jessie loves the snow because of the fact that back in the day, her mom made snow food. Food out of snow. Hopefully not the yellow kind. But Team Rocket decides to go into their balloon in order to follow. However, they kind of forgot to get into the thing, and it flies off. Just balloon gone. However, Jessie later on is like, I can make food out of snow, but I need soy sauce that's inside of the balloon. So we need to get that balloon. But as the gang is getting through the mountain, it turns out a storm is heading their way, and they are now in a snowstorm. So they all need to stay together. However, Pikachu gets blown away by the storm, and Ash immediately, obviously, runs after Pikachu, and Brock prevents Misty from continuing on after Ash, because otherwise everyone will get lost. Best to just stay together. So Pikachu basically gets blown off a cliff, but Pikachu's barely holding on. Ash tries to get it, but can't really get it. Sends out Bulbasaur to get it. Pikachu holds on to Bulbasaur's vine, but then a bit of a wind blows Pikachu down, and Bulbasaur then wraps his vines around Pikachu and brings Pikachu up, which makes me go, why didn't you do that to begin with? Like, why didn't you just do that to begin with? Why did you let Pikachu hold on to your vine? Why didn't you just wrap around Pikachu and then pull it up? But now that we have fallen a bit down, we can't get back up. So the best way to do it is to make a cave, as Brock had suggested earlier. So we make a cave, and then we have Charmander basically warm us up. Squirtle's there as well, but we basically warm us up. However, Charmander then gets a bit tired. Also, Team Rocket has made an igloo, or whatever you call that thing, and also they are not allowed to fall asleep, otherwise they will freeze to death. But when Charmander gets tired, Ash is like, alright Charmander, time to get back to your Pokeball. And he's like, wait a minute, it's probably warmer in the Pokeball than it's in here. Alright, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, return as well. But nobody wants to go. And then Ash's like, alright Pikachu, now it's your turn. But Pikachu refuses. Pikachu is very adamant about refusing. So Ash and Pikachu are basically just like sitting in that cave, being very cold. And then Ash has an idea in order to make the Pokeballs even warmer. He takes off his jacket and puts the Pokeballs in his jacket, and then folds it up, and then has Pikachu jump on his lap, and then he holds his jacket against Pikachu, and then against himself. However, the blockade that they made out of snow breaks open a little bit, so Ash immediately jumps in front of it, and he commands Pikachu to get inside the Pokeball, because his back is freezing, and Pikachu's like, no, I'm not going to do, not doing it. And then Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, and Pidgeotto pop out of their Pokeball, and each of them start hugging Ash, and this scene makes the episode beautiful, because this is a beautiful scene, and even in the dub, the music really helps sell it, that this is such a good scene. They care so much about Ash. I almost teared up watching this, and I will say this beforehand, the last couple of times that I watched it, I did tear up. But I almost teared up. I held it in. I was able to hold it in. And basically, they stay like that until the next morning, at which point they get out of the cave, and then Brock and Misty are above them, and apparently Onyx had dug a hole, and turns out he hit a hot spring. So they were just sitting in a hot spring until like the next day. Throughout the storm, they were just in a hot spring. Alright, cool. That is like the most bragging thing you could do. However, also, something that flew in was the Team Rocket balloon. So the gang jumps into the balloon, and then Vulpix use flamethrower, and then they fly over to the next town. Meanwhile, Team Rocket falls into the hot spring, I assume made by Onyx, and they don't want to leave that hot spring. And that's the end of the episode. And I will say this, the episode is, look, it is a formulaic episode in that sense, where it's like, you know, storm happens, Ash gets separated from the group, he has to rescue Pikachu. But that emotional scene inside the cave is what makes this episode. The fact that none of his Pokemon want to go back into the Pokeball because they know how much Ash cares about them, and they care about as much for Ash as he does for them. So no, we're not going back into the Pokeball. Alright, we're staying with you. We all freeze to death or we'll survive until tomorrow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this, alright? Simple as that. We will either freeze to death together or we'll survive till the next day. And I love that stuff. This is such a good episode. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section down below. And with that being said, thank you all so very much for watching. And I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you're not already, turn on notifications, and don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel. Link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time for Pikachu's goodbye. Bye!